Speaking dark bile from the back of the mind, evil as the smile on the cat, speaking slime, flowing darkness, his infinite mantra, cold and heartless, his book of erotica, defining naked for 9 pages, wild, aimless, his style contagious, spoken lowly as the divinely vile Satanist, pouring murky libations, murmuring I'm the greatest, deserving higher wages. These ghostwriters indentured or itinerant, going modal as Miles Davis. 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 Since the camera obscura, since the canvas, since the cornea, pupil, and retina, translating data into cinema, translating data into cinema, from horror films to spy thrillers to chick flicks, a terror as the Leviathan is, this psychiatrist imitating his patients ill, Finnegan's waking the language until the word synesthesia sounds black, obscure, as the slasher film soundtrack impure, radiating a gaudy glow, translating audio of Camp Crystal Lake lore into analogous physical waveforms. Close-up of the grooves of this record, it's Numen Nature. This blueberry taster spitting fruit juice on his track, the doctors demanding new music stat, the directors demanding beauteous soundtracks, orchestral scores, images, metaphors in this filmic passage, red as the gore, black as witches and magic, yellow as orange, brown as the wisdom of Africa, white as glitchy static in the electronica. Since the camera obscura, since the canvas, since the cornea, pupil, and retina, translating data into analog and electronic language systems, such brainy wisdom, you'd think I'd been trained someplace in the Dagobah system. Smash cut to his grainy vision of a Yoda explaining his mission, impossible. Like aiming his piss in the wind, comical, as rapping into his fisheye lens. Since the camera obscura, since the canvas, since the cornea, pupil, and retina, translating data into cinema, overdubbing in post-production. Our slow destruction, this earthly vanity, every one of us chasing nothingness since that apple tree, sinning since the serpent, every one of us novel, unique, each composing her auto-critique, postmodern as the leaves turning by the hand of God, postmodern as the sea surging by the hand of God, postmodern as the relearning by his mindful thoughts. This flow auburn as the leaves, turning dry as the mind of God, postmodern as the tree burning by the hand of God, ghosts haunting the streets, turning back the clocks, postmodern as the repurposing of antique thought. This tunnel system of groovy rhymes, this pulp fiction, this boogie nights, these subterranean efforts of the editors, this alien versus predator, these measures, since the camera obscura, since the canvas, since the cornea, pupil, and retina, translating data into cinema, translating data into cinema, to cinema, to cinema, to cinema. Dig. Dig. concrete, this blue graffiti. Elementary as hydrogen, this Dryden rhyming again. Ending hip-hop history as Hegel. A simple soul, this snail shell. Bending flip-flopping wizardry, this whale tail. Nirvana and the pixies, the banana peel slippery to your idealized 1960s. Never-ending as hip-hop history, cozy as the bedfellows, orange to your red and yellow, as prose purple between pandemic pen pals. This poetry hurtful as France to Senegal, as scrambling for Africa. So these rappers to Canada, breaking your heart, these beauteous black swans afloat in the dark, this ruthless rap song. As the tax on tampons, irrational time for the gravity bong and candles. Wavy as the grass on the lawn, crazy as these pants he has on, these white stripes, this zebra grazing, vital as the lights, this stargazing, infinite as evil in the heart of Satan. Lunatic these nights, seething with hate, contemplating the deep states, imaginations, it's in their DNA, a psychosis we inflame by these reforms we create, these weird forms we create, eating cake and reading the paper, spitting ordinary language reformed in this strange verse. Radical as Malcolm X, powerful as sex, this gigolo, wandering a Tokyo aglow, vision affixed to his Nokia phone, cold as a frozen yogurt, this holy roller, lyrical Shakespeare, his epitaph, he drank beer.
Yeah, I go out with a bang to prove I really matter. Product of space and mathematical pattern. The satellites deceased and the debris is then scattered. Walls of rubbish casting shadows through the static. We just rabbits that be pushing the art form to the end of time, and all the fabric of space is torn. And thus I will be reborn as little specks of dust, the type of ignorance that you've always known and trust. No lust lost from the jump, don't front, cause I be on my grind. Just to be blunt, it's no stunt, man. I'm the manifestation of existential dread. The answers to life's questions are the ones that make my bed. And now I gotta lie in it, there's no denying it. Look in the mirror and tell me you ain't dying, kid. Cause we all just be the ones in the matrix, bending over backwards with your all lame tricks, as a way to stick out like hammer pus polars, the reincarnation of Jackson Pollock. As we try to figure ourselves into this void, I'm just trying not to look so annoyed. Trying not to look so annoyed.
A puzzle perplexing as the hex, mental as the heads, nodding to this bricolage. This medium is the massage, as breathing the pot, this Drake of the T-dot, saying his evil thoughts aloud and proudly, emptying his handgun in the head of his enemy. Growing from the earth, green wrapping, even Adam coining the words, weird patterns, tears of laughter, boiling the bird. Evil madmen and madams anointed with myrrh. Plural these planted rhymes, floral as the rose, words of such black design. The sorrow of the ghost, falling in an ocean of fog, calling in the cold wind as the hawk, talking to God, neutralizing the hatred of the haters, liberating the nation using lasers, translated as fossils, but known to've once breathed, to've spoken through these teeth, as Cool Keith, this black speech, always already antique. As Rama, navigating the verbal forest, you laugh at God above an aggravating purple-orange, painting with words abnormally warping the dream. Dig the hazy picture, my corpse floats serene on the Fraser River, the craziest nigger to extort for a fee with the naked pictures. Transcending gender, traversing pender, decentering the center, entering the elemental, this 11-dimensional chess, stealing your characters to spell checkers, these folded letters you hold together, the most electric ghost peasant blurting golden medals on this strolling fellow, forgoing mental on the instrumental, waltzing along Vancouver streets, calling this song random and green, as the chaos of Vancouver, dancing as the queen, and ABBA you discover as the lover, black as the bananas undiscovered in the summer, undercover customer, cool hunter, beautiful blue rubber, new underwear, stupid fool suffered, no wonder, uttering thunderous murmurings, rocks for the curling on the rink, purple pink, blank verses, strange purposeless, mangy verminous, ancient words like us, gray as the furry mutt, aching and hurting thus, but it's nothing to get too hung up on, this endless rap, this red country, this true western red Canada, these blue paintings, these mutations, traversing the what the fuck, the divine love and lust, the refined subtle dust, sprinkled as the droplets of COVID, comet and Cupid, carrying Christmas delicious, dead and rigid ridiculous, tangling together these planted rhymes, this pantomime, delaying the pleasure of analyzing your Valentine. Gray weather, black jive, love satellite, stabbed with a spike, Prime Minister blackface, Canada brightly rhyming liquor and crack cocaine, acting in the play of blacks and grays, the cannabis we blaze, the randomness of our days, navigating the maze. I should have been a pair of ragged claws. I should have been the chairman of rap gods. I should have broken more laws. I should have known there would be blood. Could have spoken more perfectly on love in a poem or a work of cheap smut. Erotic as the sapphic fragments, gray as the pavement, staying on your mind like great sex. You're not on my mind, I'm thinking about ancient texts.
Facing death, don't waste a step, not playing chess. Come in and make a mess. There's spaces left, but no places kept. The best I hope is gracious rest. Our agent lesson, beta tapes, VHS, Sega Genesis, page of Fred so he can pay my benefits. Break a bread with derelicts, maybe venomous, perilous, actually just harmless, at the most just careless. Generous, charitous, too old to be embarrassed with the parroted narrative. We're learning from learning and bearing the bareness. The sign of the ferret with the minds and steroids and barely aware of it. Time is imperative, relative, meritless, growing wild like asparagus, sliding like paraffin with the cry of a peregrine declaring some carrying a territorial variance. Can't touch my style. Leon Theremin, currently repairing what's been veritably perishing. Live from the parish, beguiling and deceived. The cherubic heretic flies on a peach. Ride my trike up the street with some chives in my teeth.
Smiling as the trees, these dry leaves in the breeze. These Bibles we preach, high off the piety of each, shooting at ivory the beasts. The blithe existence we sleep, the demon belief, speaking in Greek. Understanding logos, close to God, branded with logos. These robots, their fervid devotion, these birds' omens, poetry, the magic potion, polluting the years, a plastic ocean, ancient as tears, gray as his beard, a Shakespeare with Beethoven's ears, a Lars von Trier on rap's farthest frontier, downing a dark beer, unsoundly startled into fear, knowing the end nigh, this noble Jedi, this Skywalker rhyming awkward, the Divine Father vomiting a lexicon purple, making hexagons of circles, this everyman's journal, simplifying the quantum reality, this song made of that very mysterious quantum reality. Inspired as Bob Dylan to rhyme awkwardly as Dickinson, maligned as the modern immigrant, tried as the mob villain, reviling God's wisdom and violently rocking the system with style as Bob Dylan. Since the 90s, loftily lifting the art of rhyme for all who listen. This environment you all can swim in, refining your myopic vision, spineless among these strong women, dining on this song so different, the knife I won't stop twisting. Incite wanton cop killing, sublime these rocky cliffs, the wind rising to cause mischief, those wily gods so impish, untimely as Bob Dylan is. Is he man or dog, this Lil Ghostwriter, this phantom prophet sipping cold cider, insipid as the cognac, these intoxicants, as living in erotica, ripping the bodices, this dishonest literature, spitting his verse, recurring again, this terrifying art, this hurricane tearing apart your book of dead lore turbulently, dead metaphors your currency. This superfluous man rapping Virgilian propaganda, purple and black as caskets buried in Canada, and growing purpler and purpler the ghost, Merlin in his knowing magic, burgeoning his flowing rap gift. This sermon on the mattress is gravity, slept on as the mattresses, this black city, These imaginings flying from his mouth into your ears, perfectly clearly speaking this raw eloquence, these eyes on the rose's thorns, this violence against Christ, our hopeless wars. Complex as the sestina, this freestylistical English as the tongue is spoken in raps, under frozen cracks in the lake, breaking up into 2021, pointing to the sun with foam hands, growing cannabis on stolen land. These pseudo-statements for the poetically literate, stupid as your hatred of these golden threads we fish with, those fancy suits and flashy ties, to these raccoons their black eyes, undervalued and misprized, captured with a rapper magnet, an eighth of cannabis, a planet like Arrakis, but it's a cocaine planet, earning the coke he sniffs. Emerging from the foliage, this garden gnome, smarter poems, darker in tone, the truth of the day, the human stain tattooed on the brain, inking weird lines upon his head, drinking cheap wine with a friend, spinning these rhymes until the end of poetry. This loopy unrest is unclear. 2 cigarettes left, 1 beer. Weird disharmony the center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. Speak abracadabra to spook the world. Use anathema to confuse the world. Use a camera to Stanley Kubrick the verbs. An expanding universe. Beside their gravity lunar, their morals unclean. These orange sunbeams in the space station window, vacationing in limbo. As a majorly skilled poet, this ancient Lil Ghostwriter wielding the dildo, desiring machines, these Wilcos. Literature, scratch, a flickering match, splash in the bath, lighting the folio, standing in the back of the photo. This Zelig, how he rolls as the credits. No rapper is an island, but of course Lil Ghostwriter's not a rapper. Romantic as the night, this song and dance of the words in your brain as purple rain upon purple flames, burning your name in the name of change, or preserving your name, this radiant play fools, you ghostwriters.
All stars burn, rewrite themselves. Cell screw job, broom key attachment unblocked. Leave me, I know. The Nike slogan jumping down my throat got me nowhere. Quit being controlling, see less stress, see more work done. Allowing nature, waterfall spoke to me. Feet ate by sand, sand ate by feet. 5 steps to perfection, hang out with the right folk. Del Toro release schedule, it's coming down the road. Vaulted reconsideration, indifferential preludes to picking up lights. Vegas, one live rendition, plaid merrily. Gotta hobble, super highways. Gotta hobble, peace. Gotta hobble, super highways.
Rapping nonsense inside nonsense. This emulsion, emotional disjunction defining this text we radio as those unheard, awakening from slumber as the hunter. These people vote, considering the lobster as the doctor. These torpedoes rose, surreal as the nose. Google goggle, you dead souls, frenetic. These knees and elbows, sleeping late to those public pseudo-intellectuals speaking against activist goddesses, Afro-communists, animal apologists, these anti-intellectual novelists. Eider down these soft breasts you scoff at, rhymes feminine, these products by menen. To my elephant, you goldfish, these Blade Runner memories, this bullshit, tranquilizing the public, this sex rap, the mental collapse, these structures, this silencer to your muffler, the violence of the sufferer, this language twisted as the rubber, this rap puppeteer god, that OG, original ghostwriter speaking through me, evil as the trees. Random as the prank call, dancing among these aerosols, dark pollutants, his smart students, rising as the earth's temperature, crying words everywhere, transforming the biosphere, biome, biodome, inviting the critics in, trying to listen, to navigate this rhyme system, changing the climate, these emissions, this World War III, ending civilization, this forlorn Keats, printed on paper in the wind. We're planting more trees, turning as the pages this in, formation, deep and pure. This CO2, these greenhouse gases you protest, You ozone, you water vapor, hypocrite lecteur, mon semblable, mon frère. This dark atmosphere, this sea rising, this dream I'm living, this dream I'm living. Silvern as the lining, golden as these stairs, descending from the clouds, inviting.